D-Day is what many people would consider to be the turning point in World War II, where the Allied forces attacked Omaha Beach in Normandy, France. Now, you know World War II, you know this. However, what many of you guys might not know is that the Allied forces had a special secret weapon. And no, I'm not talking about the nuke, I'm talking about a single spy. This is the story of Garbo the Spy, the single spy from Spain that made D-Day a win for the Allied forces and won the war in the most hilarious way possible. In this speech, I'll tell you about his journey from his solo spy work to where he worked with the British government, and then the stunt he pulled that won D-Day for the Allied forces. When World War II started, Garbo had already decided that he wanted to be a spy. The whole thing about Garbo is that he really hated fascists. He hated the way Germany was already doing stuff in the World War II, so he decided he wanted to go against Germany. In the Security Services 2018 article, Agent Garbo, it states, in 1941, Pujol, Garbo, tried to make contact with the British authorities in Madrid and Lisbon on 3 occasions. Each time his approaches were rebuffed. Fortunately, he was not deterred, deciding instead to take matters into his own hands by getting himself recruited by the Germans and offering to spy for them in England. So basically, he went to the British government at the beginning of the war and said, hey, I want to do some spy work for you. And they said, no, you're a random guy for Spain, get out. And he decided, fine, I'll do it myself, and went to the Germans himself, because he decided that he wanted to be a double agent and convinced Germany that he was this British fascist that lived in London. And somehow he did. He convinced Germany that he was this British person that just lived in London without ever once stepping foot in London himself. How he convinced Germany? Well, he had like newspapers and books that he would read and it would tell him what life would like to be in London, and he would just copy and paste information based like from this book. He would just copy and paste like how much this cost of bread would be, and then he would just send that over to Germany, and Germany would read it and be like, wow, he's right, without even proofreading it. It was really stupid. Garbo would just see random stuff in the paper and just date it and send it to Germany, and Germany would believe him, which I think is hysterical. Garbo would send so many useless reports that just had useless information, but proved his credibility to the Germans. It proved his credibility as in he would constantly send reports and updates on what life was like in London, and when Germany would see that, they would truly believe that he was actually credible. He had this whole network of spies. He was able to make up people on the fly and just make this whole network of just random people that Germany believed that they had this whole network of spies working under Garbo, when not a single one of them existed. He would just make people up, and yet Germany believed him. After Garbo gained Germany's trust and had them completely under his wing, he decided that he wanted to take this to the next level and try it once again to go to the British government. And this time when they read it, they're like, yeah, we really underestimated you, and then they took him in this time. He moved into the office in the UK and began doing spy work there with the help of the British government. Garbo's word as a spy was valued super highly. In Becky Little's 2018 article, The World War II Spy Who Faked His Death for 36 Years, published by A&E Television Networks, it states, the Germans also felt that if they cut him off, or even if they doubted him, they were not going to just lose one agent, but they were going to lose a whole network. Garbo had built so much trust and so much credibility that the Germans were terrified to lose him, because they thought they had this whole big web of spies that living in London, when it was just one dude who's in a random office working with the British government. It's just great. Now, this is all fun, but I haven't even gotten to what the stunt that he pulled that basically won World War II for the Allied forces. They had coming up with a plan, and if you know World War II, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. Operation Bodyguard. It was a decoy plan to trick the Germans into believing that they were getting attacked from multiple different spots and multiple different beaches, when they really weren't. According to Federica Romelio's 2020 article, How Inflatable Tanks and Lookalikes Fooled Germany, published by Forces Network, it states, ultimately, The aim was for the allies to make Germany believe that they were about to strike at the same time in both France at Pas-de-la-Chaos and in Norway, shifting their attention away from the shores of Normandy. And with the help of the Allied forces, they created this fake army that convinced the German government that they were going to get attacked at this random beach out of nowhere. According to Dave Roos's 2019 article, What Hitler Got Wrong About D-Day, published by television networks, it states, as the real D-Day approached, Allied codebreakers, like Garbo, verified that Hitler was fully convinced that any invasion outside of Calais was mainly a feint, a ploy to distract the German army away from a real Allied attack. Now, where does Garbo fit in all this? Garbo himself had sent out countless reports and radio transmissions that there was going to be an attack like D-Day, and he just sent all of them dated to this one random beach. And he had Hitler so convinced that he spread out all of his army super thin, which made his defenses on Omaha Beach very, very weak. He had completely convinced Hitler that he was going to get attacked from multiple different places when it was just going to be this one beach, and Hitler had no idea. Hitler had even sent his top general, possibly one of his best war generals, to this random beach because Garbo told him to. Once again, according to Dave Roos's 2019 article, What Hitler Got Wrong by D-Day, it states, in early 1944, Rommel wanted to position Germany's elite Panzer tank divisions as close to the French coastline as possible to repel from an infantry attack. Hitler disagreed, choosing to keep most of the Panzer divisions close to Paris. He got Hitler to disagree with his top war general because he had trusted Garbo's word so much, when again, I want to reiterate that Garbo is just this random dude from Spain who had completely convinced Hitler that they were going to get completely demolished at this random beach, so he had most of his troops there, which is just insane to me. Now, with the aftermath of World War II, you know how it ends, Allied forces win, yeah. But the aftermath, Garbo had received the Iron Cross from Germany for his spy work, which is pretty much the highest war medal you can get at that time from Germany. He also received the Member of the Order of the British from the UK, which again is the highest medal of war order that you can get from the British at that time. So Garbo is one of the only people, to my knowledge, to get two medals, the highest medals on both sides of a single war. Garbo the Spy is an extremely overlooked part of World War II. I would even consider him to be one of the main factors in winning World War II. Even though he only joined the war as a spy out of pure pettiness because he hated fascists, Garbo turned out to be the main turning point in World War II. Thank you.